Right.
Okay. So the anatomy is very important. The knowledge of the anatomy is very important before we ever think of doing a biopsy. Uh, and the characteristics of the skin malignancy, sorry for that, ulceration, lack of tenderness, induration, that is thickening, irregularity of the lid margin, some dilated blood vessels like telangiectasia, pearly borders, loss of the architecture are other telltale signs. Now, one has to evaluate carefully, especially about each and every case. This is what we were taught by all our mentors and seniors in Shankar Nethralaya, and that holds good forever. See, this is normal eyelid architecture. Here you can see some papillae, follicles, which are glistening there, and some amount of hyperemia. So this is important, especially one side is already showing some malignant features. Now, this is a chalazion which has been partly taken off. Now you can see there is a wedge there with some granuloma pouting out. So, and that is the reason why the patient, despite a IND, has residual swelling. Now here it looks as if she has some irritation of the eye and some antosis. But when you evert, you see a diffuse sebaceous gland carcinoma, diffuse variety. And sometimes a junctional nevus or intradermal nevus, when you retract the lid and see, you can see these dilated vessels. So, okay, I can't overemphasize the importance of careful clinical evaluation. Chalazion, again, IND, I hardly do. But if it really has to be done, I mainly do it when they're about to get married in the near future or have to go elsewhere and have visa issues. That's the main reason why I like to do, because I try to treat, or when there are too many, multiple like this, because as much as possible, I like to maintain and manage them conservatively. But again, you have to evert the lid, put in the chalazion clamp, make a small snip for it to drain, and do the surgery. Now, recurrent chalazion, especially in people after 40, 45, or those who are immunocompromised like HIV. Now, this patient had 5 chalazion surgeries before he presented. Look what has happened. It has already, a lesion has already spread into the mid-orbit, and this was a diffuse sebaceous gland carcinoma. First an excision was done, but eventually he needed an exentration. Though he did well with the prosthesis, he was severely diabetic. He became very upset about his looks, and he developed subsequently metastasis to the chest. Though sebaceous gland first goes to the regional lymph nodes, this patient died of chest metastasis. And incisional biopsy, sometimes you'll have to do. There are different types of biopsy for eyelid lesions here, because this was a leukemia and this was a lymphoma. She came for ptosis surgery, but when I retracted, I saw the salmon pink patch. So these are snip biopsies. So that was an incisional biopsy. These are snip biopsy. We just take hold of the wart and snip it off. I do it for many of the colleagues also where I work. And gentle cautery can be given. This works best. I don't like to use any of those chemicals, etc., etc. Okay, now shave biopsy is done for junctional or intradermal nevus, because you don't want to take off a complete wedge of the skin. Sometimes they have a small defect like this, which usually fills up. Especially in young patients, we don't want to excise a segment of the eyelid. So this biopsy is really helpful. And this is another example where I was watching a pigmented lesion, and this was what happened. I had to go in. This was a case of a melanoma. I had to go in a little deeply and do a shave biopsy. So what happens? You can have a defect, loss of lashes can be there, and but nevertheless, it's very important to take out the complete lesion. Excision biopsy, just take out the complete lesion in toto. If you're suspicious, age is not on if the patient is a little older, then you may give a little margin and excise. And these are all examples, xanthelasma, these warts, these syringomas, where you like to, inclusion cysts, where you like to take out the complete lesion. Sometimes if it's suspicious, you leave a margin around. Now here I left just a 2 millimeter margin because it was looking healthy, and did a wedge excision and approximated. And this turned out to be a basal cell carcinoma. Again, you see the loss of architecture, loss of cilia. This was an early sebaceous gland carcinoma. Here you can go for a wedge excision with reconstruction. And beware of vascular lesions. Don't try to do too much. First ascertain. Here you can do a small incisional biopsy because they can bleed very severely on the table. And this patient had bled elsewhere. And then here I gave her Tricort injections to shrink the lesion before you can take them up for surgery. In a combination of surgery, sometimes snip biopsy, sometimes excisional or incisional can be done. It will be needed in lesions such as amyloid. You can't debulk also sometimes the lesion fully, especially in young patients, because you don't have much of skin there for them because skin is nice and taut. So combination may be needed. This is an example of frozen section. Here I could give only a 2 millimeter margin above. This was a basal cell carcinoma, very typical rolled out edges, pearly edges and central ulceration. And sometimes if the pathologist is your friend or your mentor like JB sir, you can write, I'm worried about the medial and inferior margin. JB sir usually wanted us to pin them with the needles like this and send it across for medial and lateral because that was very easy for him to process. He used to be so excited and he used to immediately tell us what all was happening. But some of the pathologists I noticed subsequently like us to put sutures. So color sutures, blue suture, all these bit sutures we'll sometimes keep and use them here, medial margin, lateral margin, etc. Here the inferior was involved. So I had to take out a 4 millimeters more of it. And then it came out negative. Before I could embark, this was a large defect. So you see, it's not a very big lesion you think, but see the defect which was created on the table. So here a graft will not do, a flap was needed and a forehead flap is being done. Now this patient had a lesion which was about 7-8 years earlier. A biopsy had been done and he was told that he had some granulomatous inflammation. When he was told it was a chronic chalazion. He just slept over it for about 7-8 years until it grew to this size. And he comes there for an opinion. And this was done in a very big institute, reputed institute. And the biopsy report also looked very, very authentic. But the biopsy, I realized in retrospect, it had not gone in very deep. So what happened? We had to do a deep biopsy because it was very sure you're dealing with malignancy. Look at the orbit. When he presented itself, half the orbit is involved. So this was a very severe involved sebaceous gland carcinoma. He didn't want exenteration and he had to do neoadjuvant chemotherapy. They are not very good with chemo. They don't respond very well. Some amount of radiation had to also be done. Then the radiation ocular surface changes, repeated corneal ulcer breaks, couldn't use a bandage contact lens because of corneal ulceration. Finally, about after the 5th year follow-up, I decided, okay, he was disease-free systemically. He was doing fine and took him up for a medial canthal reconstruction. A year later, he developed a lesion here in the supraomedial. That photo I don't have here, sorry. And the last 1.5 years, he's lost for follow-up because of the COVID issues. But I don't know what is happening to him. So all for one chalazion. I don't think you should have to suffer your life. He was otherwise very healthy for 11 to 12 years. And this was an unfortunate case again, squamous cell carcinoma. He again didn't want, because his frozen section was not done, he had recurrence, and this was the situation after brachytherapy. But later on, he was so ill due to some other reasons, he had diarrhea and he succumbed. But again, the last years of his life was only agonizing, I would say, all for a simple lid lesion. So multiple lesions can be there in sebaceous gland carcinomas, nose, ear area. So you may have to do multiple biopsy and under frozen section and reconstruct. Sometimes you have to take the biopsy with the help of a syringe, especially in a dermoid or when there is some amount of infection also involved. And you can accordingly distribute the specimen both for microbiology and pathology. Now, this lesion is a lymphangioma, dramatic occurrence. This could be taken out as 2 separate lesions, but you know lymphangioma can recur. So I won't call this excision. It's still a debulking or an incisional biopsy only, because the chances of recurrence is there with every respiratory infection. You have to be very careful and guide the parents accordingly, especially if it is a child. It's a common tumor in childhood and it has devastating it's a cranky tumor, it has devastating effects. In malignant lymphoma, if it is very bulky like this, then you can debulk in addition to doing an incisional biopsy, because you can't take out every single lymphoma cell. These patients will definitely need radiation, but these days we are getting very good results with chemotherapy. Now these are the solid laddu-like lesions, I like to call hemangioma, pleomorphic adenoma, which all come out beautifully in toto, and you can subject them in bottles or in containers for completely if you have taken them out. But here I had to take, this was a lymphoma, I could only partially debulk with a lateral orbitotomy. And so again, along with just don't do, when you have already taken up the patient for surgery, please don't do limited biopsy or a half-hearted biopsy. Then people like JB sir will say there are crush artifacts, there's not enough specimen, please give me more specimen. So pathologists, you think here are greedy, surgeons should be greedy for good results to make the patient survive. You don't want to make patients, you don't want to lose patients due to eyelid tumors, especially if it's not a melanoma. So this is one of my favorite slides where I did a nice frozen, and last slide, frozen section control. I removed the whole lesion, full thickness skin graft. And this is how, so it's not just only tumor. As oculoplastic and aesthetic surgeons, we should also get good form, good function, good aesthesis. Thank you very much.